Hello and welcome to CEO Speak. Today we have with us Mr. Sunil Unni, who is the CEO of Chorus Consumer Electronics Division, a newly formed division of Chorus Group. Mr. Unni, very welcome to our show. And let's start by asking you, Consumer Electronics Division, this is a newly formed division of Chorus Group. Tell us something more about this. Tell us a background of what exactly.
Thank you for inviting me. Chorus, as you would have heard, has been in this country for the last 71 years. And we were into office supplies, and gradually when we found that just not office supplies would suffice, we moved into office automation. We introduced a whole range of business equipment. We were the first to pioneer a Xerox machine, which is called the Chorostat in India. And then when we found that we need to also look at new areas, we went into banking products, banking peripherals, for cash counting machines, currency sorting machines, check encoding machines, check sorting machines, and so on. Whole lot of solutions built for offices and banks and institutions. And we found that we need to do little more, and we must need to increase our footprint in the market, in the country. So we realized that we should look at more areas where we can get into new businesses, and we found that typically because we are into office solutions, we could extend into schools. So we introduced products for school children in a range of scholastic products like pencils, pens, your instrument box, and a whole range, erasers and whatnot.
But then again, that was in the same segment, stationery segment.
Yes, let me complete. Then we also found that this also does not really get us into the consumer, which is really now the consumerism is growing in such rapid manner. We don't have a real presence in that. So we realized, what do we do for a consumer? We don't have anything that can go to the consumer homes. We were looking at various options. One of the things that we were keen is to get into a business when you find the right time and right opportunity. And we found that about a year and a half ago when CAS was introduced. We thought, yes, we have the skills of manufacturing, we have the skills of developing solutions, we have a factory for electronic goods manufacturing. We thought, why not look at CAS as an opportunity? When we started studying about CAS, introducing CAS in this country, we developed set-top boxes, we got them into trials, and we found that didn't go well in the market because of various reasons. We thought that there is opportunity also elsewhere in the same area. We found that if CAS, DTH, broadband television are going to come into this country, there is one big area open for Chorus to venture, which is into complete digital home theater solutions. And this is why we went to Korea, Taiwan, did a lot of research on the kind of products available, on the kind of solutions available, and then got them customized for Indian environments. And this is how we thought is an opportunity to enter into consumer electronics.
Right. When we talk about consumer electronics, it is a very, very vast kind of field. You know,
Yes.
we have so many things, different
Yes,
things.
yes.
What exactly are you catering? What are the products that you are coming up
Yes. Our products consist of the plasma televisions, LCD televisions, and complete 5.1 Dolby digital home theater systems, which actually fills a big gap. Today, the consumer electronics companies normally sell boxes. We thought we can differentiate ourselves by selling solutions, such as you go to a shop, you buy a television and take it home, but you never realize whether it really suits your requirement. Like the other day I was telling somebody, like, you want to buy a shirt, you go to a shop, you go for a branded shirt or not, but one most important thing, you ask for your size. Give me size 38, size 40, 42. But do you say that in terms of your television? You just pick up a box and walk home without realizing whether that box will really suit your requirement, whether the screen would be appropriate for the size of your room. Similarly, when you go to a shop to buy audio system, you just pick up something which you find good and hear well in a shop. Seldom one would realize that once you take home, you would hear it differently because the acoustics in your room could be different. It totally relates to the size of the room and the kind of furniture that you have in your room, the kind of flooring that you have in your room. Typically, if you have a linoleum flooring or a granite flooring, you will have lot of echoing, lot of rebounds of sound, which people don't realize.
But as
So
a
we
matter of-
thought,
yeah,
why not build solutions around this
but as a
and
matter
offer
of-
to customers?
But as a matter of fact, these kind of systems, music system, when you talk about TVs, they are very standard. Considering the fact that they know a typical kind of household require this kind of the electronic equipment. So how do you see, are the needs really different from of so many people?
The needs are definitely different. I'll explain to you today. Most of the people buy music systems which are traded by saying it has got a PMPO of 2000 watt output, which does not make any sense. If you ask any person who can tell you what is audio all about, because it does not really matter on the output wattage. It actually matters on what kind of resonance, what kind of timbre, what kind of tonal quality that system is going to offer you. Typically, if you buy, let's say, a television and audio system and connect them to get very good quality of audio in your home, you will realize that the television delivery is in typical mono or stereo, and your system is mono or stereo, but they are not compatible at all. But in today's environment, if you really want to hear the music or the movies as they are recorded, you need to have a proper home theater system which can deliver you a 5.1 channel output. A 5.1, let me explain to you a little bit, is actually consisting of a center speaker which gives you all the vocals. And there is a right speaker and a left speaker on the front which gives you the background music. And then you have those real surround speakers which gives you a complete surround effect of all the sounds, which is not possible with any of these audio systems which are sold in the market. Yes, some of them talk about 5.1, but they are all 5.1 synthetic kind of sound. They are not really pro-logic.
So what do you really intend to do? How do you really want to, cater to this requirement? This is a very latent kind of requirement because
Yes.
people don't know what exactly they want to hear.
We need to do a lot of concept selling. We need to do a lot of, training, a lot of education to the public. There is a niche customer base in this country, high net individuals who have the capacity to, buy or spend money on these kind of systems, typically because they would want to have the best. It only needs us to go and educate them on what best quality we can deliver in their homes. Typically, what you see in a digital cinema can be delivered to your homes. You can sit there and have the same pleasure. You can get the you are there feeling, real power of reality.
Now you have launched these product plus solutions, as you are calling, under the brand name of Kino.
That's right.
What are the kind of areas that you are really trying to target when you start with?
See, Chorus Kino is the brand name that we have given for this whole solution.
Yeah.
We are targeting at the high net worth individuals, homes who can really invest into that kind of a system, We're also targeting at conference rooms who need to have large screens, could be even DLP projectors connected to the systems. And we're also targeting at hotels, restaurants, big clubs. Typically, if you see a big match going on, every restaurant, every club has a large screen, but not the acoustics which can support that. You get digital delivery in your restaurant, but you can't get the entire feel of the audience clapping or audience, cheering, which can happen if you install a complete theatrical system.
Right. This concept, perhaps, if not the first, but at least one of the first concept that you are intending to launch upon. How easy would it be for you to change the mindset of the people, change the perception of the people, and how difficult would it be for you to reach out to people and first of all spread the awareness, then the demand will eventually come. We'll talk on that, but that's after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are talking to Mr. Sunil Unni, who is the CEO of Chorus Consumer Electronics Division. They have launched a brand called Chorus Kino, essentially a new kind of concept which they at least talk about, a solution rather than providing a product. Tell us, Mr. Unni, how difficult would it be for you to reach out to the consumers, generate the awareness, and then eventually the demand would flow in?
All right, it's not going to be easy because we all have attitudes and mindsets of our own, and to change them, you need to do a lot of exercise by educating people through articles and such, kind of talk shows and things like that, where a complete concept of the solution, the home theater solution, has to be explained. And unless this is done frequently through magazines, newspapers, articles and things like that, it would be difficult. But I believe those people who have traveled abroad, who have seen systems abroad, and they are quite conversant with the home theater solution. And it's not that the home theater solution is something which is new in India. It has been there for last few years. Only thing, nobody has thought of putting it into a solution. People always bought a television or a big digital projector and connected the theater solutions. But now, those were all meant for homes who could invest 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs on that kind of and have a small, television room or whatever you call them.
A virtual theater, if you can.
A virtual theater kind of a situation. But here we're talking about something which is in the price range of anything between about 65,000 to about 250,000, which is within the means of even what I would call a little slightly upwardly mobile middle class salary class person, and he can still get all the real effects of what he gets in a theater. Well, one important thing that I need to also mention here is that while we do all this education and training and things like that, it's also important for the solution providers, the dealers who deal in these kind of products, to realize that the market is definitely going to shift. And when they realize the market is going to shift and people are going to ask for more and more solutions, they are going to be talking in the same language that I talk now. Right? They will train their engineers, they'll train their salesperson to talk about this, and they will also create small demo rooms consisting of the home theater.
Right. The fact of the matter is now, your product or service or solution, whatever you call, requires two aspects: the product and the concept. What is the product like? Where are you getting the product? Where are you sourcing it? Are you manufacturing it? Give us some idea of that.
Sure. We are, as I said, dealing in two kinds of products. One is the 42-inch plasma, which is we are planning to take it up to 55-inch also, and also maybe up to 84-inch. The plasmas, we have a tie-up with a company called Odeon PDP in Korea,
Okay.
and these models are exclusively made for us. That company also uses their contract manufacturing facilities to supply to big names. I don't want to take the names, but they're all
Yeah.
present here in big way. And for the LCDs, we have tied up with a company called Jog Electronics in Taiwan.
Okay.
They make from 23 inches to 32 inches LCD panels and LCD monitors, and they also assemble what we want with the TV tuners or without the TV tuners, duly customized for the Indian market. And these two are totally contracted models for Chorus exclusively.
So these are the initial things that you are launching with, you're starting with.
Yes.
There would be other things which complement or supplement a system.
Yes.
Maybe,
Yes.
I don't know, I am not that technology, I don't know the technology much, but there are so many other aspects that has to be included when you build up a home theater.
Yeah.
So how would you go about doing
Yeah,
that?
we're looking at also introducing the DVD amp combo, which could probably also have a built-in set-top box for CAS or for satellite, which could also have a recorder. So somebody who would want to view a program later could ideally record that when the program is relayed, and when he gets back home, see what he has missed during the day.
Right, you're talking a very different kind of language when you're selling this concept, because as of now the consumer it is like electronics have become a consumer durable. You go like pick up like anything, go to your home use, and they forget it. But you are talking in terms of selling a concept. So how is the marketing channel going to be different from a conventional marketing channel?
All right, our marketing channels are very well defined. We are going to have solution partners across the country. These solution partners are those who sell systems to the consumer, high-end systems to the consumer.
Who are already in the business.
They're already in the business. But most of them are confined to selling audio systems and home theater systems and not the screens. What we're doing here is combining the screen with the system and offering them a complete package. And they would be supported by trained engineers from Chorus who would visit the potential customers, have a look at the complete architecture of their room, and suggest their needs. Okay, you would require this kind of a screen, this kind of a output, and also tell them what kind of wiring has to be done, because this is a very, very critical thing. Many people do not realize that the audiophile wires are not normal copper wires that you use at your homes. They are special copper. They have more shreds in it, though the profile may look same, but it is different because it has to carry real good tonal quality. Then the laying of the cables, it's a very, very critical thing. Many people think I just need to run it across the wall or the roof and there is it. It's not so. You got to really look at it that it should not be very close to any power lines, not close to any aluminum, fittings which are there for false roof, because all those things are bad conductors. And they'll all create interference in your sound quality. So our engineers would go in, explain to them on how to fit it and how to get the best pressure out of the home theater system.
Right. The fact of the matter is the market is already overcrowded. In cities it is, people also say that it is saturated as of now. And with huge, big companies, big multinational, who are pumping in a lot of money to create awareness, branding exercise on all those things. How do you really intend to take on those kind of companies in the days to come? We'll talk more on that, but that's after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are talking to Mr. Sunil Unni, the CEO of Chorus Consumer Electronics Division, and the question we are asking him is, how are you planning to take on the big companies who are already in the market, pumping in a lot of money, financial, stuff to build in a brand and to retain in the market?
No, that's the reason we have differentiated ourselves from box selling to solution selling. One. Two, as I said, we are going to create a whole system of training the solution providers, having unique promotional programs to impart knowledge, sell this concept. I don't think we would in any terms be competing with these box sellers.
Either directly or indirectly.
Either directly or indirectly. And our products, if they are taken separately, they're always priced at about 10% lesser than the branded products in the market. And this, let me say, is our entry strategy. It's a clear entry strategy that we have defined.
Right. Not many people know that Mr. Unni is also a proponent of swarm intelligence. I don't know what exactly it means, but let's ask Mr. Unni what exactly it is and how can you explain it to for our viewers. First tell us what exactly swarm intelligence is.
Swarm intelligence is a new way of looking at business management. Actually, it is based on the study of insects. Let's take the ants. Anybody would have noticed that the ants always reach very quickly to the source of the food, and they always trail in one straight line. Do you think it's planned?
It's unwritten law.
There's a communication between them? No, not at all. Or take for that matter any other animal. Let me give you an example. One would find on any of those wildlife channels lions getting after a prey, 4 or 5 of them. They move very dexterously, very close to the herd, and one of them quietly goes and hides under the bush on the other side of the hedge. And when 3 of the lions come charging, the one which is hiding behind the bush suddenly leaps and catches a prey. Do you think all these 4 lions had some kind of a planning, some kind of a communication? No, not at all. It was totally unplanned. There was no kind of organization or self-organization into it. This, the researchers have found, is what leads to 3 concepts. One, as I said, flexibility. 2, robustness, that even if one of the individuals fail, the group can still get on with the task. And 3, self-organization without any supervision.
So how do you incorporate this concept in a business environment, in a business case of a corporate thing?
There are companies like British Telecom, Capital One, Levers, who have used swarm intelligence in designing certain critical production lines, in designing certain critical management theories, devising certain critical activity-based management, designing their pay for performance. Because all individuals that go into any process of activity have certain activities defined. If those defined activities and parameters are done without a supervision, automatically the entire team starts working dynamically.
A discipline comes in.
A discipline comes in. And when that happens, you can relate that in terms of cost reduction, you can relate that terms into intellectual activity management.
Right. You have 2 aspects. One is your corporate, you are looking after the Chorus as the CEO of the consumer electronics, and then also academics is also, you are in touch, you deliver lectures and all those things. How do you club in both the activities?
Oh, well, actually, I don't get much time, but I do take some time off to address Rotary clubs, address some colleges, particularly where there are road tracks. Also, I travel a lot in countries like Europe and wherever I go, Far East Asia, maybe Philippines, I always find time to attend a Rotary Club meeting and deliver lectures. I pre-plan, I dialogue with them, saying that I'm here, why not? I give a lecture on swarm intelligence, and they're very keen to hear about swarm intelligence.
And as you were telling, it has just come back after Harvard Business Review carried out an article on it in 2002.
That's true.
How is the really concept catching in, at least in the corporate world?
Actually, it's not really that fast, but yes, now there are many people who talk about it. In fact, I was quite impressed by 2 articles that came in the Times of India. Though they don't mention about swarm intelligence, there are very interesting features about it. One talks about ants centenomen, which says a discrete cocktail of smells delivered by scout ants is what prompts forager ants to start the day's work and begin the hunt for food. American scientists have found workers of red harvest ant species only go out for their nest to look for food once patrolling ants return home in the early morning after checking out the terrain for safety. And then it also goes on saying about Michael Green and Deborah Gordon of the Stanford University using these techniques for a bouquet of obvious hydrocarbons on their cuticle.
Okay.
Which means swarm intelligence has been used for a research lab. There's another one, again talks about a similar activity where a company has used to define the parameters of the production line totally based on swarm intelligence.
Okay, so you see a lot of things happening, though not directly, indirectly, at least the concept being utilized in various forms. Well, one last question, how do you see Chorus Consumer Care? You know, what are the plans at Chorus Consumer Care, Consumer Electronics as of now? Immediate plans, because you have just launched 1 month back.
Our immediate plans are to get the solution partners, the alliance partners in place, our network in place, and continuing with this kind of launch activities in other regions. Like it's only yesterday that we launched in Mumbai officially, and we had a dealers meet and things like that. We're going to have these things in other cities as well. So my immediate concern is to have this launched and this whole business idea to move forward and to really generate profits for my company.
Thanks indeed for joining us, Mr. Unni. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for all the information that you gave us.
Thank you for the pleasure. Thank you.
Well, that was all on this program of CEO Speak. We'll be back again with yet another corporate leader. Till then, from the entire team here, goodbye.
Welcome back to CNews. Press India Limited has now entered the market of electronic consumer goods. CEO of the company, Sunil Unni, while addressing the press conference at Crossroads, said that the company will soon launch the Chorus home theatre solution.
A new company of electronic consumer goods will step into the market this Diwali. Chorus India Limited company, which has been running successfully in the field of stationery goods, will now launch Chorus Kino home theatre solution in the market. This home theatre includes 20-inch to 30-inch LCD TV, 42-inch plasma TV, DVD players, Chorus DVs and jammy speakers.
अब हम थोड़ी साल पहले स्कूलों में भी सप्लाई शुरू कर दिए। स्कूल के बाद हमको ऐसे लगा कि दफ्तरों में तो है ही, स्कूल में भी चले गए, क्यों ना हम घरों में भी कुछ सप्लाई करें। इसलिए आज हमने सोचा कि कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के माध्यम से हम घरों में आए। तो कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हम नहीं चाहते थे कि हम बाकी लोगों की तरह डिब्बा बेचें। हमने ये तय किया कि हम सोल्यूशन बनाएंगे जो मतलब आपको घर बैठे थिएटर का मजा उठा सकते हैं आप।
This system will be available at prices between 78,000 to 2,25,000 rupees. The company believes that the home theatre will be surely liked by the people.
That's all we need for now. Keep watching CNews. नमस्कार, सी न्यूज में आपका स्वागत है। सबसे पहले आज की खास खबरें। कोरेस इंडिया लिमिटेड अब कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के क्षेत्र में पदार्पण करने जा रही है। प्रोफ में आयोजित एक संवाददाता सम्मेलन में कंपनी के सीईओ सुनील उन्नी ने इस संदर्भ में जानकारी दी।
इस दिवाली सीजन में कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में एक और कंपनी पदार्पण करने जा रही है। अब तक स्टेशनरी के क्षेत्र में अग्रणी रही कोरस इंडिया लिमिटेड कंपनी अपने नए कोरस किनो होम थिएटर सोल्यूशन के साथ बाजार में उतर रही है। इस होम थिएटर सिस्टम में 20 इंच से लेकर 30 इंच तक के एलसीडी टीवी, 42 इंच का प्लाज्मा टीवी, डीवीडी प्लेयर, कोर्स डीवीसी और जेमी स्पीकर शामिल है।
अब हम थोड़ी साल पहले स्कूलों में भी सप्लाई शुरू कर दिए। स्कूल के बाद हमको ऐसे लगा कि दफ्तरों में तो नहीं, स्कूल में भी चले गए, क्यों ना हम घरों में भी कुछ सप्लाई करें। इस लिहाज से हमने सोचा कि कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के माध्यम से हम घरों में आए। तो कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हम नहीं चाहते थे कि हम बाकी लोगों की तरह डिब्बा बेचें। हमने ये तय किया कि हम सोल्यूशन बनाएंगे जो मतलब आपको घर बैठे थिएटर का मजा उठा सकते हैं आप।
ये सभी सिस्टम 78,000 से लेकर 2,25,000 रुपए तक ग्राहकों को उपलब्ध होगी। कंपनी का मानना है कि ये होम थिएटर लोगों को जरूर पसंद आएगा।
चुनाव से विदा लेती हूँ, फिर मुलाकात होगी सी न्यूज के अगले बुलेटिन में। नमस्कार। नमस्कार, सी न्यूज मध्ये आपलं स्वागत आहे। सर्वप्रथम ठळक बातम्या। ही कंपनी कोरेस इंडिया लिमिटेड आता कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स क्षेत्रात पदार्पण करीत आहे। ही कंपनी आता कोरेस होम थिएटर सोल्यूशन बाजारात आणणार आहे। यात एलसीडी, प्लाझ्मा टीव्ही, डीव्हीडी प्लेयर यांचाही समावेश आहे।
दिवाळीच्या सणाच्या दिवसात कंझ्युमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मध्ये आणखी एक कंपनी पदार्पण करीत आहे। आतापर्यंत स्टेशनरी उद्योगात अग्रगण्य असलेल्या कोरस इंडिया लिमिटेड कंपनीनं आपला नवीन कोरस किनो होम थिएटर सिस्टीम मध्ये 20 इंचापासून 30 इंचापर्यंतचा एलसीडी टीव्ही, 42 इंचाचा प्लाझ्मा टीव्ही, डीव्हीडी प्लेयर्स, कोरस डीव्हीज आणि जेमी स्पीकर शामिल आहेत।
अब हम थोड़ी साल पहले स्कूलों में भी सप्लाई शुरू कर दिए। स्कूल के बाद हमको ऐसे लगा कि दफ्तरों में तो नहीं, स्कूल में भी चले गए, क्यों ना हम घरों में भी कुछ सप्लाई करें। इस लिहाज से हमने सोचा कि कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के माध्यम से हम घरों में आए। तो कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हम नहीं चाहते थे कि हम बाकी लोगों की तरह डिब्बा बेचें। हमने ये तय किया कि हम सोल्यूशन बनाएंगे जो मतलब आपको घर बैठे थिएटर का मजा उठा सकते हैं आप।
हे सगळे सिस्टम 48,000 पासून 2,25,000 पर्यंत ग्राहकांना उपलब्ध होतील। कंपनीचं म्हणणं आहे की हा होम थिएटर ग्राहकांना नक्कीच आवडेल.
याबरोबरच टी न्यूजची टीम आपली रजा घेते. पुन्हा आपली भेट टी न्यूजच्या पुढच्या बातमीपत्रात. नमस्कार.